This lesson is on the gallon man, which is just a fun way to remember some conversions on how to convert different measures of liquid like gallons, quarts, pints, cups. So let's look more carefully at gallon man and what each of these letters means. So as you can see, there's a big G. So the biggest unit of measure we're going to be looking at here is the gallon. And inside of each gallon, there are 4 Q's. And each one of those Q's stands for a quart. Oh, and they're not really staying where I'm putting them. Hold on. So you can tell in this drawing that there are 4 quarts in each gallon. Then inside each Q, there are 2 P's. The P's stand for pints. They don't really look like they're going to stay either. There we go. And then inside of each of the P's is 2 tiny little C's. So on top of that top part of the P is where the little C's go. And I'm not going to draw in all the C's. Just so you get the idea, that's what one P will look like up there. So just to see what the whole thing looks like after it's all done. There it is, a big G, 4 Q's, and then P's and C's inside of that. So we can use this gallon man to help us answer some math questions. The first question is, how many cups are in a pint? So referring back to our gallon man, we see that there's 2 C's inside every P. So there are 2 cups in a pint. Next one is, how many quarts are in a gallon? Looking at the gallon man, there are 4 Q's inside the G. So there's 4 quarts in the gallon. Now that you understand how these questions work, finish the next 3 off on your own. And then after we understand those conversions, we can use them to help us answer proportion problems. So for example, in this first one, it says Derek has 3 gallons of milk. How many cups could he fill? So remember, our first job is to find the 2 words we're comparing. Here we're talking about gallons and cups. So I'm going to write that for my labels of my proportion. Gallons over cups. And the special thing about gallon man is he helps us know what the whole first fraction is. So if we look back at our gallon man, we have to count up how many little C's are inside the big G. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 cups inside the gallon. So we know that there's 16 cups, I'm putting it on the same level as cups, in 1 gallon. And then I get my third number from the actual problem. Here it says he has 3 gallons of milk. So 3 gallons is going on top because that's where I have gallons written, equals X. I'm sure you remember how to solve proportions, but just in case you need a reminder, we'll do this one together. Our first diagonal is 16 times 3. And our second diagonal is 1 in X. So 1 times X. 16 times 3 here is 48. So I have 48 equals 1 times X. Divide each of those sides by 1, and I have 48 equals X. So the answer to my problem would be Derek can fill 48 cups. Let's try one more together. This next one says, if the freshmen drink 36 pints of water each day, how many gallons do they drink? So we already know what words we're comparing. We're comparing pints and gallons. And let's look back at our gallon man to get that first fraction. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pints in that gallon. So we know there's going to be 8 pints in the gallon, and I'm making sure I write them on the right level. 8 goes with the pints, 1 goes with the gallon. The next number is 36 pints, taken right from the problem. So since pints is on top, I'm going to put the 36 on top. And my x is going to go on bottom. I'm going to trust that you know how to solve that one on your own so you can get your answer of how many gallons the freshmen drink. After you solve that on your own, you can go ahead and try the next 2 problems on your own. Remember, you're going to do the same thing as we did in the first 2. Find the 2 words you're comparing, use gallon man for your first fraction, and then find the other number from the actual problem.